What you're seeing with the Taliban in control of Afghanistan is increasingly a failed state. We're going to continually be confronted with the consequences of this disorder, chaos, and instability, misgovernance. What happens in Afghanistan will not stay in Afghanistan. It inevitably will bleed out into the world in ways that are unpredictable and most likely dangerous and harmful to all of us.
I think Afghanistan is poised to become a real petri dish for terrorist organizations.
At a minimum, their inability to control or unwillingness to control those groups, that has implications not just inside Afghanistan, but for all of its neighbors.
A year ago, when the Taliban took over Afghanistan in the wake of the calamitous U.S. withdrawal, there was a lot of concern that the Taliban would be back to their old tricks, namely providing sanctuary to al-Qaeda. What we learned this month is that's exactly what they've been doing as feared. The fact that Ayman al-Zawahiri, the al-Qaeda leader, was living more or less openly in the Taliban's capital is proof positive that al-Qaeda is on the rebound in Afghanistan. He's not going to be the only one. If the leader felt safe there, then his followers certainly felt safe there as well. And we also know that their objectives, their intentions, are to hit the United States wherever they can. Our embassies abroad, our military abroad, and our homeland. But they'll also be plotting attacks against American allies around the world. Allies like Israel, allies like the United Kingdom, like our European partners. Americans should care about terrorism in Afghanistan because that's how we got 9/11. The Taliban provided sanctuary to Osama bin Laden and his al-Qaeda terrorists for the years leading up to 9/11. That produced a wave of terror attacks against the United States. But it's not just al-Qaeda that finds fertile soil in Afghanistan. ISIS has a very active affiliate in Afghanistan that was responsible for a horrific suicide attack at the airport in Kabul during the U.S. evacuation that killed a number of American service members, as well as a number of innocent Afghans trying to flee Taliban rule.
It's an increasingly unstable situation in an already unstable region. You have China going in and being very opportunistic in this situation to lock down rare earth supplies and mines, and also Russia willing to support the Taliban for their own domestic political reasons. Historically, when there's conflict and instability in Afghanistan, you see explosion of the opium and heroin trade out of Afghanistan. This has huge implications, not just for Europe, which is the primary market for that poppy, but also for the global market. If a flood into the market decreases the price in Europe, it's going to have an impact on the price of opioids here in the United States. When the price for heroin drops, it means that it is more widely available, more accessible. The Taliban is completely incapable of managing the territory of Afghanistan. It's incapable of meeting the basic needs of the citizens of Afghanistan, which is going to precipitate worse humanitarian crises, more disorder, more problems in that country, leading to refugee flows.
The previous democratic government of Afghanistan was not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but at least it was trying. At least it provided basic protections for human rights. At least it tried to provide the rule of law for its citizens. But all of that has been washed away by the Taliban wave.
It certainly takes the pressure off of countries like Pakistan that do not have a good record on women's rights, who do not have a good record on human rights overall, on tolerance for other religious groups, especially religious minorities such as Christians. If you have a country that's next door to you that is really at the bottom of the barrel on human rights, it of course is going to take some of the attention off of your less than attractive features when it comes to human rights. Allowing problems like this to fester has never worked out well for us.